Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the Parent Guardian Kickoff for the 23-24 school year here at Iowa City West High School. I'm Mitch Gross, the principal of West High School. This will be my fourth year being the principal. The previous 3 years before that, I was assistant principal at Northwest Junior High, and the 15 years before that, I taught social studies here at Iowa City West. So this will be my 22nd year in the district. At this point, I'm going to introduce to you, or they will introduce themselves, our administrative team, and then our guidance counselors will introduce themselves as well, so that you're able to put some names and faces together as we get ready to start this cool journey together.
Hi everyone, I'm Liz Bruning, assistant principal here at West High. Welcome, thanks for coming tonight.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Eustace and I'm also one of the assistant principals. And like both Liz and Mitch, I've also taught at West High. I've been here since 2009.
She's a hard act to follow. I'm Maureen Head. I'm also one of the assistant principals who is substantially taller than the rest of the crew here, so I'm going to do this. I taught science here for 10 years? I don't know. I think 10 years, ninth grade science, and this is my third year as an assistant principal. I am a West High graduate, so yes. So it's possible, guys. Your kids are going to make it, I promise. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, great to be here. Thanks for joining us tonight.
On the list, it says Garrett Hartwig, but I am not him. I'm BJ Mayer. I'm the athletic director. I've been a teacher at Northwest. This is also my second year as athletic director here at West. Welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Trey Bronner. I am one of the new school counselors here at West. I am coming from Franklin, Tennessee. I'm originally from Iowa. I graduated from the University of Iowa, so I'm super excited to be back in the Iowa City community and super excited to work with everyone. Oh, my alphabet is A through E. I'm not sure if I mentioned that.
Hi everybody, thanks for coming. My name is Kelly Bergman. I'm one of the school counselors. I work with students with last names F through J, and this is my 12th year here at West High. Thanks for coming.
And my name is Greg Yoder. I am counselor, and this will be year 11 at West High and year 19 in the district. Formerly a Spanish teacher, but I don't do that anymore. But I have students with last names M through R.
Hi, I'm Shannon Arkfeld, and I live here in Iowa City. I've been here for quite some time. My children went to West High, and I will be dealing with students with the last names S through Z.
All right, thank you, everybody. Here's a brief agenda of what tonight will look like. I'm not going to read that to you, but just so you have an idea. The purpose of tonight is really just to give you a very brief introduction to West High School, to answer any general questions that you have, and just really to increase the familiarity that we want you to have with our school. First thing, I just want to talk a little bit about our school, and this is based on last year's data, but we're really, really proud of this institution. You know, our slogan is where excellence is a tradition, and we take that very, very seriously. According to U.S. News and World Report and Niche, we are the #1 high school in Iowa, which we're very proud, and that happens because of all the hard work of all the people that are in this building that work tirelessly. Last year, we had 24 National Merit semifinalists, which led the state. We've led the state at least 20, 30 some straight years. So we're very, very proud of that as well. That's based on a test that juniors take, the PSAT, which will be taking place in the fall. And then that was last year's class breakdown. That's a little bit different. Oh, that's this year's. Oh, thank you. As of now, that's this year's class breakdown. That might change a little bit as kids register to leave, but that's where things are. So, assuming most of you are parents of the class of 2027, so there's 372 of you. So welcome. And then up here as well, we have 100 plus world-class faculty members and 80 dedicated staff members. So it really does take a village to make an institution as big as West High work as tirelessly and as easy as it does. New student orientation is going to be on Monday, so this coming Monday, August 21st from 10 a.m. to 2. Students will meet right in here. We'll have our band and our choir directors. We'll teach the school song. We'll have a little bit of a pep rally, but also students will then walk through an abbreviated schedule so they'll be able to see where their classes are, who their teachers are, and then we'll talk with them as an administrative staff as well. So it's just a really general overview. You are welcome to come and try to mess with lockers or anything like that throughout the day. We have 2 schedules at West. We have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, and then we have a Thursday schedule. So that should be the same for those of you that have been in the district for a while. Thursday is reserved for teachers to do professional development. And at this point, I'm going to turn things over to our assistant principal, Jenny Eustace, who's going to talk about attendance expectations.
Fantastic. Okay, so in terms of attendance, we just ask that you all communicate with us. I'll talk about that on the next slide. But just so you know, we do keep track of tardies here at West High. If a student has one tardy in a class, the teacher is going to have a conversation with them about getting to class on time, the importance of being there right when the bell rings. The second time, the teacher is supposed to communicate with you as their parent guardian that your student has been late twice to their class. On the third tardy, most likely you'll get communication from one of us lovely people up here letting you know, hey, your student's been tardy 3 times to a class. The fourth time, we are going to ask that your student turns their phone in for the day. We have cell phone lockers, just because it is very important. We only have 50 to 55 minutes in each class period, and we do have a wonderful teaching faculty that wants to get your student all of the knowledge that they need, and so we want to make sure we're using all of that time as much as possible. So please encourage your student to get to class on time. If you ever see an UA on Infinite Campus, UA stands for unexcused absence. That means that they did not show up to class, or they have arrived to class over the halfway point. So maybe they got waylaid in the hallway or the bathroom for a very long time and didn't make it to class on time. They will be counted as unexcused absence. We will communicate with you. Hopefully you have the notifications set up on Infinite Campus to get a text message or get a phone call right away when that happens. Maybe you forgot to call them out or let us know that your student was going to be gone. You will get notified. Yes, we know that it is sometimes annoying, but we want to make sure you know that your student's not going to class. We want to try to make sure we know where all of our students are at all times. We will also have attendance requirements to attend certain West High events like home sporting contests, homecoming, prom, the big dances that we have, and other celebrations we might have throughout the year. So please encourage your student to attend all of their classes and attend them on time. To contact us, there it is. Here are the attendance lines. So if you are the parent of an incoming 9th grader, the attendance line is 319-688-1091. Feel free to take a picture of that. If you are the parent of an 11th or 12th grader, the attendance line is 319-688-1051. You can call. The mornings are usually very busy around here as we're getting students in and out of the building. We are working with buses and getting the school day started, so most likely you will call and leave a message. Our attendance secretaries will be checking those messages throughout the morning and should have the attendance entered in by midday. New this year, you will be able to submit your students' absences through Infinite Campus. So we've had Infinite Campus in the district now for 3 years. And hopefully you have the parent app. If you go on the parent portal and you click on more, there will be something called an absence request. And so you can go on there and you can, if you know, for example, your student has a dentist appointment on the first day of school and they're going to be missing the last hour of the school day, you can go online, you can put in August 23rd, they need to be excused at 3 p.m., you can put in dentist appointment and then submit it. Our attendance secretaries still have to review those, so it's not going to automatically get entered as excused. Our attendance secretaries will go through, they will verify those absences, they will put them in so teachers can see that, and that way you don't necessarily have to pick up the phone, which is kind of a nice new feature. So you can either call or you can use Infinite Campus in order to submit those attendance things to our building. Question. I love questions. Oh wait, hold on. Way in the back first. Go ahead. You can do that for a full day absence. You could do that for a 5-day vacation. You could do that for a 1-hour dentist appointment. Yes, go ahead. We can always retroactively fix attendance. So for example, if your kid had a dentist appointment in the morning and you forgot to let us know, you send him to school at 10 a.m. and then you say, oh no, I forgot to call, you can call later. We prefer, obviously, 24 hours would be amazing, but we also know you all lead busy lives. You're parents of high school students. They have very busy lives, so we understand. But 24 hours would be awesome. Yeah. Email addresses, we do have those. I can put them up here at the end, but it's Carrie Ulrich. Her last name is spelled Oelrich .Carrie, Carrie, at iowacitysschools.org. She's our 9th and 10th grade attendance secretary. And then Brittany Smith, SMITH.Brittany, BRITTANY, at iowacitysschools.org. She is our 11th and 12th grade attendance secretary. Great. Okay. Here's what the Infinite Campus portal, the new part, looks like. It's very small, I'm so sorry. But you can see, like, let's say you have 2 children that go to a school and you're going on a family vacation. You can put in that family vacation, full day absence. You can put the days. So you'll see Jack and Mason Anderson in 10th and 8th grade are going on family vacation from September 29th to September 30th. So they're going to be gone for 2 days. But in the comments, it's actually a funeral out of state. You would press submit. Our attendance secretaries would be able to review that and enter it into Infinite Campus. I'm trying to go to the next slide. It's going well. Oh, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Cell phones.
If you all notice, I put my cell phone on the ground to do this. Thank you. So the reason for having a cell phone policy, as Eustace mentioned earlier, is just to maximize the instructional time. And as some of you may know with some of your students, they have a hard time multitasking, right? Which brain research tells us that all of us have a hard time multitasking. But you know, students in this developmental period just have a hard time putting the phone down, right? Some of them, I would say, are addicted. Some of them love social media a lot. Some of them play games. Like, there's just so many things you can do with this mini computer that's in your pocket, right? So this is slightly new this year compared to cell phone policies that we've had in the past. We actually collaborated with Northwest Junior High. So if you have a rising 9th grader, this is very, very similar to what they did last year at Northwest. We changed a couple things so that the students have a little bit more autonomy. But again, the purpose behind all of this is just to maximize that instructional time and to remove any type of distraction that's going to prevent kids from learning all of the great things that we want them to learn. So as you can see, each student, so the whole class is going to get a reminder, a reminder from the student, my voice cracking threw me off. Let me reset. Thank you. The class is going to get a reminder from the teacher after the tardy bell rings, and they'll say, hey, everyone, just a reminder, go ahead and put your phones away, right? And so that could mean different things for different teachers. It could mean face down on your desk. It could mean in your pocket. It could mean in your backpack, whatever that teacher decides. But they're going to have to put their phones away. And then, instruction will start as it does at the start of class. If a student has their phone out after that kind of blanket warning for the class, that's when we move to number 2, right? So if the things aren't put away, the teacher will say, hey, I need you to put your phone in your backpack or your purse or whatever you have with you. Or if you don't want to do that, I can call someone, either a supervisory para or school facilitator, an administrator, or someone in the office who's available to come pick up your phone so that you can turn it in until the end of the day, right? So the hope is the kids will say, nope, I got you. I will put it in my backpack until the end of the class period so that they then have access to it for the rest of the day. But if they choose not to, then we're going to say, okay, well, we're going to remove it for the day as motivation for the next time to just put it away the first time that you're asked. If things become habitual and a teacher is noticing day after day after day, students are getting that reminder and it's just kind of turns into a battle and they're not getting those instructional minutes that we want to get in, that's when we move to step 3 and we're giving you a call and we're saying, hey, parent, guardian, I'll just use Mitch as an example, not that he's ever on his phone. Mitch is having a really hard time in class staying focused and staying off his phone. Let's set up a meeting time when you can come in and we can get this figured out. And then we'll start talking about, those A, B, and C options. Are we on the kind of the first meeting or the first step with administrators involved where we maybe need to say, okay, we're going to try like a multiple day situation where you're going to turn your phone in for a week and we'll see how it goes. And once you get the phone back, if the habit has improved, if the habit has gotten better, then we can leave it at that and move on with our lives. But then after that if that doesn't work, then we're looking at, okay, well, maybe we need like multiple weeks or maybe we even need a trimester. So the idea is to have increasingly serious removals of the phone. But again, the purpose of all of that is just to maximize instructional time because we're a school. Does anyone have any questions about the cell phone policy? Was that a stretch? Okay. Stretching is good for you. I appreciate that. Sorry, I forgot this slide was here. This is also a new to the district policy last year. Unfortunately, on occasion we do have fights or things that are not ideal happening in our buildings. And so the district put out a policy surrounding recording fights and disseminating those recordings. So just so you know, and you can pass this on to your kids, and we'll be talking to the kids about this too when they come in on Wednesday, Monday for new students and then Wednesday for everybody. If your student records a fight and we find out about it, because keep in mind we have security cameras, and if there's a fight or if there's something not ideal happening, we typically go on the cameras. If we see kids that are out with their phone and they're recording, we're going to call them to the office and say, hey, you were recording, I need you to delete that, right? So we'll have them go through their phone in front of us, have them delete it, but then there's also an out of school suspension associated with that. If they recorded it and then posted it on Snapchat or like DM'd it on Instagram to friends, if they disseminated that footage in any sort of way, then it's an even longer out of school suspension. So I don't like punitive things very much. However, we want to send the message that if a student is fighting and they get a 5-day suspension or a 3-day suspension or whatever, people who are recording that and distributing that have a severe punishment as well, because the message that I always send to kids is that we don't want to record someone on maybe the worst day of their life and then send that out for anyone to look at like forever. So that's a policy that you can share with your kids. And then just like generally appropriate use of technology. We have conversations with kids all the time about inappropriate pictures being shared. A lot of unfortunately, we've had a lot of police involvement in terms of like child pornography, et cetera, et cetera. So just really if you have that type of relationship with your child, I really encourage you to have those conversations. And if you're worried about it, but you're not comfortable talking with your kid about it, let us know and we can help you. We can facilitate that conversation. We can have those conversations with kids because they're getting to that age where that sort of thing is far more prevalent than you might think. And it's just a really, really serious thing. So thank you for letting me end on that positive note.
All right, how many people here are brand new to the Iowa City School District? Brand new to the district. All right, we do have quite a few. Great, welcome. So all students in the district have their own Chromebook. So your students should have a Chromebook, or if they have not gotten it yet, they will be getting their very own Chromebook that they take home with them, and they do most all of their assignments on. They can do quizzes and tests on there. They can write papers on there and submit them. And we use a system called Infinite Campus that you've heard everyone talking about already, and that's how you probably registered your student and you have an account for that. You can check attendance, you can enter your child's attendance, you can check their grades, you can see their schedules, all in Infinite Campus. The other system we have is Canvas. And so Canvas is where you can find out more about each class that they're taking. So Canvas has all of the students' assignments on there that the teacher posts. So Canvas is made by each teacher. So each teacher creates their own Canvas page with information about their class. So on there, they will have a calendar that'll show you what's coming up that week, when tests are. They will have assignments on there. They will tell you what readings need to be done. All of that information will be on Canvas. So this is Canvas up on the top right. You have to get a login. There's a website address there. You can also find that on the district website too. And you will need some information from your student in order to get connected there as well. But Canvas is really great. If you want to know what your child is doing in American Studies, you can go to Canvas. If your child says, hey, I've got a Spanish test tomorrow, can you help me study? You can go into Canvas together and take a look at what's happening, what unit they're on, and try to help them with those types of things. Infinite Campus, there's an email address there. If you have questions about your account or you can't get logged in, sometimes if you call here, we can help you too, but that is the district help desk email that can help you with all of those things. You can get apps for your phone as well, so it doesn't have to be done on a computer or a laptop. Those you can see the apps there. There's one for a student, that's with the S, and the one for the P is for parents. And you can take a look at those things. You can do that all right on your phone. Maybe you've done that already. After you have registered your child, you can see their schedule. They probably want to download that also, because that way it's easy for them to see their schedule. They don't have to carry around a piece of paper. They don't have to worry about losing a piece of paper. If they're coming on Monday for student orientation, they should download that app and have their schedule there so they can easily check and see where am I going next. So they don't have to wait in a line to get a paper copy. They have their schedule with them. So it's really important. My daughter's going to be a sophomore this year. She uses her Infinite Campus all the time to check her grades and see when things have been updated, and checks her schedule like every day. So definitely something you want to encourage your student and probably yourself also to download those apps and have those. And Canvas is there also. You can also get that app to your phone. Sometimes that one might be a little easier to do on a computer because you're going to be looking at a lot of documents, but those are the two important pieces of technology for families so that they can participate in their child's learning. Again, here's some, if you need help with your tech issues, you can contact our guidance office or our main office. You can call the library and ask for some help there, and then there's the district help desk address also. So I'll give you a second if you want to take a picture of that if you need to, if you need that information. All of it you should be able to find on the website too. Or you know what, if you just call us at 688-1050, our secretaries are fantastic and they'll be able to direct your call wherever they need to make sure that you get the help that you need. Any questions about Infinite Campus or Canvas? All right. School counselors, do you have additional things to say?
Okay, Okay, putting me on the spot here. All right. So we have 4 school counselors. Again, you'll be assigned one by the first letter of your student's last name, and we'll follow them throughout all 4 years, which is really nice. We really get to know your student, and we really get to know your family. We also have 2 student and family advocates. They help us with student basic needs. Maybe students have more significant mental health concerns, getting more connected to community resources. So they are also great resources we have in our office to help support our students. We also have a career coordinator. He splits between us and City High. He helps us with career navigation, job shadows, internships, all of those things. So our office has a ton of really great people who are here to help your student with whatever need you may have. So please reach out to us at any time. Our extension is 1053. Email us, stop by. We'd love to help you and your student. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry, I got the clicker. Okay. We wanted to tell parents about this, I don't know what to call it, feature in our school, because mental health has always been an important topic for high school age kids, but I think especially since the pandemic, we've noticed even greater need in this area. So we have it's a temporary classroom in our building. Well, it's not in our building because it's a temporary classroom, whatever. We have a space in our building called the Nest. The Nest stands for Navigating Emotions and Stress Through Training. There is a staff member there. His name is Phil Keitel. His job title is Engagement and Intervention Specialist, or Strategist, I can't remember which one. But his role is to help students process big emotions that are preventing them from maybe getting to class or being productive while they're in class, right? So in the Nest, we see a lot of kids that have really high anxiety, or we see kids that maybe had a fight with their best friend that morning and they're feeling some type of way before going to first period, or maybe they had an argument with their parents and it's really affecting them and they're having trouble focusing in class, those types of things. So the Nest is a space where students can self-refer. They don't need a pass, they don't need permission, they just show up and they say, "Hey, Phil," and he'll say, "Hey, what's going on?" And then give the student room and space to say whatever they feel like sharing. And he will use his skill set to intervene, right? That could look like a mindfulness strategy, some deep breathing. It could be letting the kids color and just kind of decompress for a set amount of time. It could be talking about it and validating their feelings. There's just a wide variety of things that can happen in the Nest to support student mental health. The purpose of the Nest, though, as you can see in this second bullet point, they're allowed 15 minutes, and Phil will set a timer, okay? Because we are very mindful. We don't want kids to start making it a habit, right? And so what happens is if we notice, okay, a student has used the Nest 3 times this week, all during second period. What's going on? Like, are we avoiding second period because we don't like AP calculus? Or are we avoiding second period because there's a friend conflict, right? So what will happen at that point is Phil will contact the guidance staff and he'll say, "Hey, I've noticed that this student is showing up regularly. Like, who's gonna check in with them and figure out, have that conversation about, whether they're maybe kind of abusing it or if there's something that needs to be referred up to maybe a student family advocate, or talking to the parents about like, hey, we've noticed that your child is really struggling with this issue. Let's talk about what our options might be going forward." As you can see here on this second black bullet point, community referrals. So if a student shows up at the Nest and they're saying, "Hey, Phil, I'm feeling suicidal. Like I have a suicide plan and I don't know if I'm going to make it to tomorrow or lunch or whatever," he'll say, "Okay, I'm going to call mobile crisis. I'm going to alert, the guidance staff and the appropriate people there. They'll let an administrator know. We'll let a parent know. And we'll go ahead and call mobile crisis. They have a team that is dedicated to the Iowa City Community School District. The team will come out. It could be one person, two people, depending on the situation and the availability. They'll come to the school and they'll do, they'll take the students through a set of questions, and then we'll continue communicating with the parent about what the next best step is. In some cases, it's, you know, I'm maybe feeling suicidal. I don't have a plan, but I'm just feeling really crappy. Okay, well, let's develop a safety plan to make sure that you're safe at home. Let the parents know what their role is in that. And then we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll keep working on what comes next, whether that's therapy or check-ins at school or whatever. But in some cases, it's, hey, parents, you know, here's what's going on. Do we have your permission to go ahead and take this kid to the emergency room? And that's happened before, too. So, not to scare, I feel like I'm talking about all the really uplifting things. Not to scare you, but we do have kids that really, really have some significant mental health needs. And we wanted to share this with you because students have some agency in choosing which spaces they go to. But ultimately, we're doing our part in trying to identify patterns and recognizing whether those stops to the nest get referred up the chain and the intervention gets more, I wanted to say severe, but that's not the word I want to say. What word do I want? Stronger interventions, thank you. More structured interventions, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So the nest is in temp 10. And if you are driving to the south parking lot and the back of the building, it's like kind of right on the side of the building. So there's the entrance where it says 9th grade center, and then it's one of those temporaries that's right there. So thank you for asking that question. Phil he has like little business cards kind of, and it has his picture, his location, the nest, what kids can go there for, and what he does the first week of school. He doesn't get a lot of traffic out there quite yet because, you know, some kids don't know where it is. You know, we're coming off summer, and for a lot of kids, that's kind of a carefree, less stressful time. So he'll be in the hallways during passing time and like at lunchtime, and he'll say, hey, like, I don't know you. It's nice to meet you. I'm Phil. Like, here's my card. That sounds really corny. I don't know what he's going to say, but he'll introduce himself to kids and make sure that the word is out in terms of where he is and how kids can access that service. Any other questions about the nest? Like in the temp or like, so I'm his backup. No, so his backup is, this sounds stupid, but like he has a phone out there. So if he has a situation that he doesn't feel that he can handle, he'll immediately call guidance and say, hey, I need an SFA to come out here, or he'll close down the nest if it's the only kid in there. He'll close down the nest and then escort that kid if he feels like it's a safety risk. So we do have communication measures in place where if he feels like, ooh, I'm in over my head, we have people who are there to support immediately. Great question. Any other questions? I feel like I'm teaching again. This is really fun, guys.
Fantastic. Okay, I got a short slide. Short like me. Yay. So hopefully what you're hearing, what I'm sitting here hearing and reflecting from my colleagues is West High is really a place, we really care about our students here. My own children, they're not old enough yet, but they'll go here. Mitch's kids go here. Liz's kids go here. We're going to get Mo to move to this side of town, so her kid will go here. BJ, we're just going to let BJ be. He's West High through and through. We're not going to talk about where his kids go, but we really, truly care about every kid that walks in this building, and we want to make sure that their mental health is taken care of as well as their physical health. So we do have a health office here. We have a full-time nurse. I know sometimes coming from an elementary or a junior high where they have the traveling nurses, we have a full-time nurse. She's here every day. Her name's Jamie Mears. She actually used to be an ER nurse, so she's seen it all. She's wonderful to work with. And then we have a full-time health associate. Her name's Summer Dale. That is their phone number if you ever need to call the health office. If you have a student that has medication needs, they need to take their medication at school, make sure you bring it to us prior to school starting. There's a little bit of paperwork that you need to fill out to sign to say that your student needs to come and take their meds during the school day. They cannot give out over-the-counter medications, but your student can check some in with them, again, with your permission. So please make sure if you need to have your kid taking medication during the day that you bring the meds to school anytime before school starts. Even when school starts, we can, someone from our office can walk you down to where our nurse's office is, which is down in the West Wing by the 9th grade center, and you can meet Jamie. She can have you fill out the forms. Oh, please, go ahead. Yeah, they're supposed to go to the health office. I mean, obviously, we're dealing with students who are 16, 17, 18 years old. Any medications are supposed to go through the health office. Obviously, that's a conversation you might have with your child if they have a headache and they have 2 Advil in their bag, right? As long as it's not like a giant bottle. You know, if for some reason we would have to search them because a vape detector went off and they were in the bathroom and we find a giant bottle of medication, that's going to be probably a phone call to you to be like, hey, did you know? And you're going to say, yes, I did. And then we're going to say, could you please put it in the health office with a form signed saying that they can have it? Yeah, you're welcome.
All of those should go through the health office, yes. So you should probably call Jamie and communicate with her, so there'll be a form that you need to fill out, and then yes, if your student has an allergy, there should be a place in Infinite Campus where you put that information, and then the teachers can see that as well. And again, like, Jamie is the person that you'd want to talk to, and so you'd probably want to make sure that you call her. She's working now. She's on a longer contract than teachers, so she's in the building. She's working at her desk. So if you have a health plan or health concerns for your student, or specific allergy medications or allergy things you're worried about, now would be a great time to call her before she has lots of students coming through. So feel free to give her a call, and she can get set up with everything that you need. Sorry, I took over all your questions. All right, I'm going to talk quickly about parking and security, and I'm going to kind of go backwards from the bottom up here on this one. Students all have an ID. If they should be getting their ID on the first day of school, and then picture day is the second day, so then they'll get a new ID with their new picture a couple weeks into school, but they will get an ID on the first day of school, so they have it to use to get their lunch. But if they're ever out of the building during the day, for example, if they had an appointment and you're dropping them off, for them to get back in, they'd have to buzz in because all the doors are locked throughout the day, so they'd have to ring the doorbell. The secretaries would ask, can I see your ID, please? And they just show their ID to the little camera at the door, and then they get buzzed in. So they need to have their IDs to get into the building. They need to have their IDs for lunch. They need to have their IDs to check out books. So it's very important that they keep track of those IDs. You can get a new one, but there's technically a charge for that. So it's important to just hang on to your IDs. So you'll need it for security purposes. Next thing on here is that if you have a student who's driving, if they have a school permit, or maybe next year when they turn 16, or if you have an older student who's driving, they need to register their vehicle. So that's what the QR code on here is for. If you have your student who needs to register their vehicle, the registering is no cost. So you can register your vehicle for free, and then they will get a parking tag that they'll need to stop in the main office to pick up, to hang in their car so that we can see that. It's possible that they could get a parking ticket if they're parking in a no parking zone, one that says bus loading zone, one that says staff only, or if they don't have that tag hanging from their window. So make sure that if your student is driving to school, that they register their vehicle, and you can do that at any time. If you say, well, they're not going to start driving until January, well, then when January comes around, make sure they get this registered at that time. And as you could see, as you drove into the West High campus today, we're starting a major construction project, and we're going to talk more about that here at the end. But as you can tell, there's no parking in the front of the building. You can't even stop to drop off your kid as you're pulling through. So if you are doing drop off in the mornings, you'd need to come into this auditorium lot to drop your student off, or in the back lot to drop your student off, because right here in the front, there's no parking, no stopping. It's a one-way through traffic zone. And there's a map here so you can kind of see what that is. The bottom of the map is this north side. We're over here on this side, the auditorium lot. This is where you probably park tonight, because that side of the building is where we are right now, the auditorium. And when you're coming in to the West High from Melrose, most people take this first drive here. You're going to have to just keep driving through traffic only. And if you go around to the back, this is probably more important for your students, to remind them that the bus line there is also no parking. So no parking there either. So students need to be either parked in the auditorium lot or the back athletic lot. Staff and visitors can park at any of the 3 lots. There was a question over here. I'm sorry. Somebody had a question. They had their hand raised. Yeah. Sure. The main doors that are over here that if you've ever come to an athletic event, those main doors are, they have the doorbell and the camera, so they can always get in there. So even if you had to drive through or if you came through the auditorium lot, it's a really short walk to that door. And so that's what I would recommend. Easy place to enter right there. Good question. No, I'm sorry, I had the wrong date. Thank you for reminding me. The 30th. But they will still get an ID on that first day of school. It'll probably just be last year's picture on it. Yes. Yes. Or in the back, or the front. Yes, over here. We don't usually have too many bikes. We usually there's plenty of spots for those. There are bike racks on the side where it says West Wing lot. There are bike racks there, and all the doors are opened for students to enter from about 8:30 to about 9 o'clock. So we open all the doors so they can get in, and then we lock them all at 9 o'clock, and then that's when you need to have your ID to get in. The back athletic entrance is open super early in the morning because of early morning practices. So if somebody needed to get here for a jazz band practice or an athletic practice or something like that, that starts at like 7:30, those back doors are open earlier. Oh no, I meant like the doors to get into the building. BJ, you want to talk about the question was about the back and parking bikes. Oh, I'm sorry. So the questions were about where to park, where to drop off. So there were great questions about dropping off. You can drop off in the West Wing lot, the auditorium lot. Those are easy places to get in. All of the doors are unlocked for students to get in at the beginning of the day, and then they're locked down for the rest of the day. The athletic parking and athletic entrance in the back of the building is open really early if you need to get here earlier than that. And there are bike racks around the building. Definitely 2 or 3 bike racks by the West Wing lot. Yes, great question. So the question was, if you come late from an appointment, what do they need to do? So you would come in the main entrance doors through where the construction is. So you might want to drop them off like by the auditorium, like where you parked in this parking lot right here. They would walk over to those main doors, come in, and get a pass to go to their class. One more question in the red shirt. Oh, sure. No, you can send it with a student, and the nurse usually keeps track of that too, and she would email you if prescriptions are running out and they need a refill. So she would communicate with you too. So she tries to keep track of a lot of that information also.
Somebody mentioned the gate in the back. There is a gate where it says athletic lot. Just off the tennis courts, there's a big gate that keeps people out of there. That is for coaches. We use that a lot for handicap accessible when we have home meets for baseball, softball, football, soccer, things like that. So we don't have people go back there. A lot of times kids figure out how to get the code, and so we're working on changing that as well. But again, I'm BJ Mayer. I am the athletic director. Maybe. The fall athletic seasons are starting. We currently have about 25 sports that we participate in. We have this fall, we have cross country, boys and girls. We have girls swimming. We have football going on. We have volleyball going on. We have cheer and dance going on as well. So we have quite a variety. A couple things that you need to know is we've gone to a new system. It's called Bound. All athletes must register at that place. And many of our freshmen have already registered. If your son, daughter are still interested in pursuing a sport, they can register on there at any time. There's a couple things that you will have to electronically sign that basically tells us that you give them permission to practice. You have to upload a physical. You have to upload that you've read the concussion form as well. So there's a bunch of different things on there. This next slide is a place where you can scan a QR code and go right to our registration tab. This other side over here, our secretary is phenomenal, Brianna. She typed this up, and this exactly tells you step by step what you need to do to register your student for an athletic program. In the winter, we have numerous sports. In the spring, we have numerous sports, and in the summer, we have baseball and softball. We really want kids to be involved in some things. We work with our coaches and the kids if they want to be multi-sport athletes. So if they want to play volleyball, basketball, and softball and track, we'll figure out ways for them to do it. So we really want them to be a part of that. Our booster club for athletics is Club West. They are a phenomenal group that does a lot of fundraising for us. 2 years ago, Club West donated $80,000 to the athletic program. What we do with that is we get some money from the district for some athletic things, but the Booster Club funds a majority of what we do, from uniforms to equipment to numerous things. And all of our sports get something from that, and we ask them to participate. We hope that all people will join our Club West Booster Club. There's a Booster Club membership form up there. You can also go to www.ic-clubwest.com. They are also looking for volunteers to help out with concessions. The Club West runs all of our concession stands, and then that's a big fundraising piece that they donate back to our programs and our students as well. You will also, if your students are involved in sports, you may have them be working some concession stands events so that we can help raise some money for those programs.
Okay, as Mr. Mayor said, we really want students involved. We want students to be able to thrive at West, being their true and authentic selves. So we have an amazing arts program here at our school. Right here in this theater, we'll be having two major productions. There's a fall production. It's a Christmas Carol. The spring musical is The Secret Garden. So tryouts are for the fall play will be coming up. We also will be having a club fair. This will be during the day, so all students will have an opportunity to go check out all the amazing clubs that we have here at West. As I said, there's the Theater West, so if your students are interested in becoming part of a theater, whether it's on stage, behind stage, as crew, we need as much help as we can get. So please check out that link if you're interested in becoming part of Theater West. And then these are just some of the clubs and organizations that we have here at West High School. We're really proud of the achievements that our students have. For example, our math club. Our math club, we are the reigning national champions here at Iowa City West. So we have an amazing math club. We are the state champions in debate. We have mock trial. We have show choirs, jazz bands, orchestras. So there's really so many things for your students to get involved in. So we really, really encourage them to do that. And if there's any questions that we can answer on that, we are always more than willing to do so. Things that we can, that you can help your kids. Hopefully you're signed up and you'll be getting a weekly newsletter from me. It'll be called The Weekly, so we'll always keep you up to date on the happenings at school, when rehearsals are, when tryouts are. We'll do some recaps of what you might have missed. So going over that with your students is a great opportunity to kind of connect with them. We have a PSTO, which is a parent and teacher student organization. It's designed for parents. We really want your input and your feedback, so those are monthly meetings. And the first PSTO meeting, when it gets set, that will be in the weekly as well. Right now, they're debating whether or not it's been noon meetings in the past. They're trying to get an evening meeting set up to get more parents involved in that. As Mr. Mayor just mentioned, we have Club West for athletics. We have the Iowa City Music Auxiliary, which is a really important organization. So if your child is involved in band, orchestra, choir, we hope that you're involved in that organization as well. And again, we're in a construction zone. It's an exciting time. It's annoying as well. We get that. But as mostly parents and guardians of freshmen, you will be reaping the benefits of this. So by the time they graduate, we'll have a brand new orchestra room, a brand new choir room, a brand new guidance center. The library is getting refurbished. There's going to be new classrooms, a brand new student commons. So it's going to be a little bit of a pain for this year and part of next year, but I think it's going to be worth it when we're done. And here's just some renderings of what things are going to look like. So that's the new library. Oh, do we have that entrance? Nope. It's a pretty cool front entrance, too. There's going to be a huge glowing W that can be seen from miles and miles. All right. Big upcoming events. Obviously, first day of school is Wednesday, August 23rd. As we mentioned, August 30th is that back to school night. So we really hope to see you there again. That's a chance for you to interact with your children's teachers. Monday, August 9th, will be parent-teacher conferences, and we are going back to an in-person parent-teacher conference this year. There will actually be both options. So if the virtual wasn't working out for you and wanted more of a personal interaction with your students' teachers, we'll be having that on October 9th, and then October 11th will be the virtual parent-teacher conferences too. So you're able to pick whichever one of those works best for you. And then at the end, the administrators and the guidance counselors will be out here. We'll be standing to take any questions that you have. I'll end with this. We are really, really proud of our school, and we're so happy to have your students with us. And at any time throughout the year, please never, ever hesitate to reach out to contact us. We're here to help you. We're here to serve you, and we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you so much for coming.